The ability to hear has been demonstrated even also in Europe, and which includes the reading of the white paper. This is what it means, classical reading. Now, the ears and the ability to hear or to see. Now, when one cannot hear, probably one can see. But when one sees what one does not hear, vision may deceive the mind. Therefore, it is more better to hear first before you see. Now, what are the things that these things the people are hearing when they demonstrated the ear to show that they are hearing, or the eyes to show that they are seeing, the breathing, and so on and so forth? Now, there are people who are trying to be thought leaders. The thought leaders are preachers, and the greatest of them are those who preach righteousness, if they are preaching in truth. But in the secular setting, the one who wants to break you down and say they want to have a say over you, wants to dictate or influence what you think or how to think. Therefore, they create dramas around you and pulling your attention to those things, that by you focusing attention on them, since they are the remote control of that drama, they could control your thought. Therefore, they become the thought drivers. But some people hear you when you pray in silence. So they eat their mouth to indicate that the person they are hearing is driving, that is saying something in silence. What that thing means could maybe be revealed or not, but he is just working, but he's communicating either to God or he is thinking. It depends. They do not see it fully. That is, he is. And sometimes the ones who see direction, it is not necessarily the object, but it could be direction of a person. Now, here is where play comes in. The will of a man is the drive of a man. A man who is driven on by his will is being pushed by outside forces. We have the legs and we have the hand. The legs and the hands, usually the leg should go where the hand is, except where the hand is, except your leg is what is the tool you use to do the play. Therefore, if your leg is the play, your hand follows your leg. And if your mind is the play, of course, all great minds' play comes from the mind, inspiration from the mind, then all the body follows it. This is the theory of play. Now apply in technology. Therefore, when some cars go by, they drive, while some cars just pass by innocently. Now, the ability to hear determines who you are and how you are able to analyze what you hear, and it is determined by in what language these things are said. Now, regardless of language, there is a universal language, and the reason why they call music universal language is this: though I might not hear your language, I might be able to discern the meaning of what you are saying by the tonations, by the tones or the sound you are using. And therefore, we can see, I'll pause there, the reading of the white paper also could mean the reading of what is physically done to the body of a person by the white. So therefore, the white touches, they want to read by reading the white papers. We have the black notes, which we call Ologundudu in Nigeria, whereby the shadow of a man strikes you. Now the white are the living are like the ones using their right to become like a flood around you, trying to frustrate you or make you lose concentration by following the sound in your body. By following the sound in your body at the time that you are supposed to listen, you close your mind or your ability to hear what the people are saying. Now listen, the Bible says, listen to what is wise and try to understand it. Now, if you do not hear what is wise, following my analysis in Europe, how do you understand it? So the reverse is to make me not to hear, so that I have nothing to analyze or understand. But then my kingdom is from within. Whether I hear them or not, I don't give a shit or a damn. I will define the whole world that even they themselves do not know. And this I did. This is a classical rhythm, and not everybody will understand it. Therefore, I was defining what makes Egypt to be light. At that time, Egypt was the number one nation in the world. The light of the world lives in Egypt. And before another country can be number one nation, the light have to be transferred or transported to those places they want to make the nations of the world, the number one of the world. That is why in Europe they buy the best players from another country, so that the best player must be a light, otherwise it cannot be the best player. The best singer must be a light or the light in that aspect, otherwise he cannot be the best singer. So when they entice them to have their passport, they are buying every tool of civilization in human form, that through their logical thinking, actions, and behavior, they can use their light to build that society. Therefore, when those best minds are exhausted, or they are no longer here, this place becomes darkness, and the city where there is light begins or continue to shine bright and lead the darkness. This is the theory of wanting people to give their passport in exchange, and oftentimes they target the bright minds. Therefore, it is the transfer of light that makes civilization. In the city of darkness, there is no civilization. And this is why my staying here is troubling the city that wants to be the capital, because they know that I'm a natural light that is not corrected, and this light can do and undo anything at any time. Therefore, they wanted me to be where other lights are, that they are monitoring, so that their prediction of weather can be accurate, because they are in control of all the lights that influences the changes in life. We will talk more about this, but just to let them know that their political classical behaviors, or whatever religious, they are before love, they are almost like a preliminary stage of life. Before me, this is how it is. This is why I do not put my mind in what they do. I have to discover more things. And therefore, I told them in Europe, is the accumulation of knowledge, true knowledge, put in a container that is given emotion. And that is when it becomes technology and it moves. Without accumulation of right knowledge, nothing works that is a technology. Technology is like an idol that we give motion to. And a robot is like an animated object that we thought of how we could uh, make them have emotions, raise their hand, raise their leg, therefore we needed the remote control, or we need to study motion object in order to put the engine of motion or life motion in them, that if we press it, the robot begins to function. This is the totality of robot and the modern technology. But God bless you. My name is Tolu Emiayo. I'll talk more about life in the future.